So you can join the session. Yes. So Anshu, my audio video fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me introduce Anshu to everyone. She's from Delhi University, Lady Shri Ram College for Women, and she has graduated in Eco and Maths. Okay, so we have one more Maths guy here. So even after that, she has worked for 1 year with GenPact as a management trainee. And after that, the story is simple, cat, and she's right now in IIM Ahmedabad. I think she would be going today or tomorrow to join the batch. Am I correct? Yes. So she has written for herself beyond academics and work. She also enjoys poetry, reading, and engaging with ideas that challenge her thinking. So that's in English. The last sentence is very interesting. So what we would do is we would see how what's the Anshu's thinking, and then after that we are going to challenge her thinking. So Anshu, the stage is all yours. The people have already joined. There are many people in the back in the session right now. So the stage is yours. You can start.
Thank you so much for such a nice introduction. Hi, everyone. I am Anshu, and I'm very excited to share with you all my CAT journey and how I made it to IMA. So, yeah, exactly 1 year back, it was like I was just in the position same as yours. My CAT journey has totally been a roller coaster. It was a journey filled with lots of self doubt. There were small victories, there were failures a lot. So, yeah, so starting with how I prepared for CAT. If I were to break down my journey, it would be into three P's. It was a prep phase, there was a practice phase, and then there was a performance phase. So prep phase, after I graduated from college in last year in May 2024, I started preparing for CAT in June. And for me, June and July were the 2 months where I gave a lot of efforts to prepare in terms of the syllabus that we have for CAT. So I knew my weaknesses. I was aware about where in which section I have my strength. So I gave a lot more efforts on my weaknesses. That was the quant section for me. So in that order, I used to prepare. So I started preparing in June, worked upon a lot of concepts. For BARC, I used to read on essays. I used to practice RCs daily. I had a schedule in Excel schedule at place where I used to write down the number of RCs I practice daily, the number of LR or DI sets I prepare daily, and the number of quants questions that I prepare. In that way, I had a regular check on my performance, how I am keeping up. And some way, it was more of motivating factor for me. Like I have done so much and I am supposed to do so much ahead as well. So in June and July, I was not working. So I had full time to prepare for CAT. Post that in August, I joined my job and it was then a 9 to 5 job setup. And post that, I had just some time to prepare for it. So in that phase, I had to majorly practice the concepts that I prepared in the previous phase. For that, I practiced a lot of questions, I would say. For once, I was aware that modern maths is somehow I can deal with. I had to practice a lot of arithmetic, which is usually people's strength. So I worked upon that. In the job, I showed up daily, somehow imperfectly, but consistency was something I kept with. Uh, I was working in my job. Post that, I used to come back, sleep for some time so that I just get wake up fresh and with a fresh mindset. I used to prepare for the same. Then, in the practice phase, majorly, I started my mocks in June itself. I gave around 2 mocks in June, then 3 mocks in July, and post that the number increased from August. And it was majorly August to October, starting of October, the practice phase that was there. And initially, some of the few mocks were humbling. They shook my confidence, to be very honest. I realized that I do know the concepts. However, in pressure, I am somehow making mistakes. And that's where the mock analysis and the feedbacks come into play. And that's how you are supposed to navigate the mocks with the practice of questions that you have for the entire syllabus. So that's a kind of like wholesome strategy that you are supposed to build on your own. How you are supposed to take that feedback from mocks, the analysis that you do, and the practice that you are. So at that time, I got in touch with a lot of seniors as well. With the problem, with the set of problems that I faced, or whatever doubts I had, I asked for feedbacks. I asked for their advice and all that. So that's how like the time went till October, and post that the performance phase started for me. That was the time I started a lot of mocks. So I gave around 45 to 50 mocks overall and in total. So in the end, October to November, I had certain health issues also at the same place. So I had to like have approach to combine everything. So the particularly the performance phase is something you are supposed to reset your approach, you are supposed to revise your approach, and you are supposed to refine your approach, and you have to cut down your distraction, you have to like surround yourself with a good routine. So that is something that's a conscious decision you are supposed to make. You have to be like, I can do it, I'll do it, I have done so much previously, and yes, I can make. So that's how you're supposed to keep up your confidence. Also, I would say there is no right or wrong strategy in place. Like I also used to approach my seniors with the thing that what do you think is the right strategy to go ahead for the next 1 month? Then give their stance. They'll give how they navigated through it. But to be very honest, it's always your journey. It's always the way you put your efforts, and you know yourself the best other than anyone else. So that's how I also prepared. Like toward in the end 1 month, people had different approaches of doing mocks. They were like give 1 mock daily. Some were like give 3 mocks a week, or like there were varying opinions on that. But I knew how I am supposed to navigate with that. I stopped giving mock just 3 days before my CAT. I had my last mock and I scored really well in that. And I was like, yes, now I am done. I have that confidence in me that I can do it. It was a 99 plus percentile score in that. So at the time, I stopped giving more. And for the last 3 days before that, I just revised my Cohen's concept. I had the notebook, I had the notes, as well as I had a set of short notes at the same place. So that's something that really helped. Talking about the sectional prep in the CAT, as I mentioned, for DRC, I practiced AON essays and the set of RCs. For DILR, initial in the prep phase, I practiced topic-wise set of questions. We practiced scheduling, arrangement, and all the questions that we have. However, post that, it was majorly a mock analysis and the similar kind of questions that you get in mock. That was a mixture of things. So, and once exactly, it's like first you prepare topic-wise things. I used to prepare my short notes for the concepts that we have, or the important questions, or the questions you come across in mocks, which you consider as a concept. So rather than just noting down the question, try to note down or figure out the concept that the question is. So that's how this I prepared all the sections. Next, like moving on to the post CAT thing, the real game begins post CAT when the results come and you like start getting the calls from different schools. That's the time when you realize that the real fight just begins there. Previously what happens is like in CAT, you are competing in a mixed set of crowds. Some are serious, some casual aspirants. But post CAT, it's like every single person is preparing for interviews. Everyone has a story, and everyone wants to be there. So uh, we start having calls from these schools in January. So I started my GDPI prep simultaneously in January. It was more than the CAT prep, basically, I would say. So, like, I had to revise my entire grad syllabus, economics, maths. I had to cover up certain concepts from class 11th and 12th as well. Moreover, you have to work upon your profile. You have to prepare every single thing related. And more than anything else, you are supposed to be very well versed with current. And for the same, I would suggest now itself, like if you have time, try to read newspaper articles, the good newspaper editorials. That will somehow help you in your VRC, and that will also help you in your GDPI prep. If you are well versed with the surroundings, you'll be more confident in the interview. Basically, interview is not just like they are just putting out the rapid fire questions and you're just supposed to answer. It's basically a profile test. You are supposed to present yourself, how very how better like you can present yourself in a like totally different way from others. So you should have very framed or structured approaches in your mind. You should be very confident in that. So that's how you are supposed to navigate uh, the GDPI prep. It's accumulation of everything you have in your profile. As an individual, you should your hobbies, your background information, if you're working somewhere, your work related information, everything. So that was a GDPI prep for me. However, I would just share a personal instance that somehow like tested my resilience the last day or the interview day. So like my IMA interview was supposed to take place on 7th March, and my grandfather passed away a day before. And it was like emotional loss that I did not see coming. So that was the day I had to take the call. That was the decision that I had to take, like how am I supposed to navigate now? So since we have our journeys before, we have worked so much, our family has seen so much. So that's how you like bring that attitude in yourself that I'll handle. And that is something that totally visible to the interviewer as well. So I showed up, I gave the interview with a lot of strength and with a lot of resilience. I answered everything that was asked from me. And totally, to be very honest, the Ahmedabad interview for me was a very wholesome interview. I was asked a lot of questions related to my profile, not just one topic, related to my hobbies, related to my grad syllabus, and a lot of things. And post that, like now on April 16th, when the results were out, I was like elated to see that I made it to IMA. I cried for around 15 to 20 minutes seeing that I am selected. Since it's more like it's everyone's dream. Everyone worked hard, but it's just some of the students make it there. So it was a moment of disbelief for me for some time, but it was since it was a very like hard heartbreaking phase for everyone. So everything paid off. That resilience, that pressure handling strategy, or whatever if extra efforts we make through the prep journey, everything pays off when you see that result on the screen showing that you are selected. So like post that, my life is moving very fast. There are calls, there are conversations, begging and emotional goodbye to everyone around. And I'll be starting with a really new phase. And to be very honest, post that I've like interacted with a lot of people from IMA. And what all I can say is like it's really amazing to hear about the brilliant mind. You get to see a lot of intellect or brilliant ideas people have in their conversation. So it's totally like post everything, this CAT journey, this GDPR, the result thing. What you can like vouch for is there is an endless scope of learning and conversations. So you just have to work really hard and everything for this. So like closing whatever I have said previously, what I have learned is that CAT will test your concepts. However, interviews will test your knowledge, your character, how you as an individual is. So it's always about showing up day after day. You are supposed to do. You are supposed to practice a lot of questions. That's true. That's not statement in air. So you have to practice a lot of mocks. And whatever life throws at you, you have to come back at everything. So it's basically summing everything up is like just don't aim to crack CAT. Aim to just come out from that journey a lot stronger, a lot wiser, and a lot resilient than you were before. You should see that change in yourself rather than anybody else telling you that yes, now I am suitable to be a manager, or I'm suitable to learn how to be a good manager in that way. So it's basically, if you see overall, it's a management prep that you're doing, how you are managing everything, your prep journey, your stress, your mocks, and everything. So I guess I have pretty I have summed up everything that I would like to share. So yeah, that's all. Now I open the floor for questions. I would be happy to take there are any.
So, yes, I'm sure. So the first question I have is if I'm recalling it correctly, you mentioned you were struggling with maths.
Yes.
You have majored in maths and equally, am I correct?
Yeah, like I had majors in maths. However, the maths that like in CAT, that maths we have, it's basically the conceptual things. However, we in grad had a different set of maths, like it's totally theoretical or the pure maths that we study. So it was not really the conceptual things. And though I'm good at it, but I always have a fear of performing well in maths. So I had to combat uh, that fear with a lot of practice. So yeah.
Okay. I'm picking some questions on the student side. The one question which I can see is why MBA. How did you answer the why MBA question?
Okay, so really there are a lot of framed question placed on internet, but I would not suggest you taking any. Why and for everyone is a different story. And in interviews, the secret to crack any interview is be real. Like tell them your real story. They should feel a connection to you, and that's why, like for me, why MBA had my all my reasons. Like I have a very diverse profile. I am a individual just graduated from college. I bring a lot of fresh perspective to plate, and I really feel like my strengths like time management or whatever the strength of mine, they are very well accommodating to a profile that of a manager. So pursuing a management degree uh, is very really important for me to have to accommodate all my diverse ideas and be in the place where I see myself. So it's basically a question that you are supposed to answer related to your profile. There is not a fixed set of ideas that you're supposed to put in that answer. It's your story. It's the reason why you are doing it.
So I'm sure just like the poetry and the reading, all that skill sets, does it matters? Like, does it would say it actually enhances your EQ profile? So how does it help you in the interview process, in the selection?
So yeah, in interviews, your hobbies give you a topic to discuss where you are pretty much confident, since that's something you have in yourself. So in my interview, I was asked to write a poetry on the spot, explaining how I am feeling in that situation. So I was very well comfortable in writing poetry. So around 5 to 7 minutes of the interview went around just a discussion about the poetry section or the my hobbies. So it's basically you gives you a really comfortable stance with the interviewer to discuss. It's a kind of ice breaking thing that we did.
Poetry about what? Can you come again?
Yeah, so it was like they asked me to write a poetry on the situation of that interview. Basically, that interview experience that I am having the interview.
Can you quote some lines?
I don't exactly remember, but it was like I like writing poetries in Hindi, and it was somewhere like the idea was that I am here with a lot of aspirations, with a lot of hope, and my parents' dream. So I don't know if what I'll take from here, but definitely I know that I'm getting the chance to interact with such honorable professors. So it's a lifetime opportunity. So it's somewhere like long.
Any poetry you can recall of yours, which is you consider as the best? Any quote?
I think like there are a lot of points.
Just one or two lines. I just need to understand what kind of a depth in the poetry. I'm just trying to understand that.
Just give me a second. I'll like
Yes.
I have the set of.
No issues. You can take your time.
Yeah, we can move on to the next question. I'll recite one towards the end.
Okay. So, Anshu, can I say in a way that cat is inclined towards the people who are good in maths? Can I say that?
No, it's not totally true. Like people with I have friends who don't have any background in maths. Like they just studied it till 10 or till 12, and that's like still making it there. So it's basically the way you practice or the way you play with your strength. You are not supposed to do all the 22 questions. You are supposed to, like, if you are not really good at it, you are just supposed to clear a sectional cutoff. So just play safe, work upon your strength, work upon the particular section in maths where you are good at, find that and practice a lot of that. So it would be really comfortable for you if you are like capable.
Okay. Pull out some question in the chat. People are even talking about how many marks. I think you mentioned the marks. Am I correct?
I gave
It's
around 45 marks. Yes.
So you've given a lot of marks. So
Yes.
what was your strength? Like, let's say in the CAT, what was your strength? Was it DILR or was it?
For me, it was VRs. I knew like the D-Day also, I was aware that I'm supposed to like score really well in BRC, and for me like DIR would be a comfortable space, but quants for me was more like I just need to clear the sectional cutoff. But due to that fear of performing well in quants, so I played that way. Yeah, whatever.
Some last one or two last questions so that we can move back out now. The point is, what exactly you're trying to gain from IMM? Let's say, I know, so whatever you are going to learn, obviously you will see and go and see. But what exactly is your understanding that what exactly is the additions you are going to have in your skill set or maybe learning or personality or character, whatever it might be, what's in your mind, how exactly the Anshu after 2 years would be different from this Anshu?
Okay, so like this is something that I've already seen in the prep. Well, I was preparing for it, so I can see myself as a changed individual. I can see myself very well versed with myself. Like when I prepared for interviews, I got a very good idea about my personal things as well, my hobbies and passions. So that's something I see. Well, I'll be joining IMA. I'll be working upon my passions. I'll be working upon myself a lot as an individual. I'll be refining my personality. And that's something that how I'll get it from IMA is through network, through the set of conversations we have, through the set of learnings that we have from professors. Like those are really brilliant conversations, I think. Like as I've seen now also in groups or interacting with my peers. So that's basically you when you network with a like mindset of people, or I would say a different diverse set of people, you get to learn a lot, and that's something that that comes up in that space. That it's a very growing space you are supposed to. So you, I can see myself.
Let me rephrase the question.
Yeah.
Actually, quite thoda bada scope ho gaya, so it was going everywhere. Yeah. Let me put it in this way. Is Anshu going to be a good manager or is Anshu going to be a good entrepreneur?
I would say good manager. For me, basically, it's personal to everyone, like where they see themselves.
So it was great talking to you. Now we are going to wind up, and hoping that there are around more than 400 people in the session right now. So they would have enjoyed it. Even as a teacher, I also really like talking to you. So best of luck and thank you.
All my best wishes to everyone.
Thank you.